Thanks for joining us. We hope it's more than just one person that's joined us other than our other halves, who I'm sure are listening because they're probably panicking about the things that may come out of our mouths. Could you imagine what they all must be thinking when listening?
Oh, poor things.
Mine's definitely not listening. So.
Exactly.
Oh, especially those of us that don't have a filter. I just anyway.
Those of us.
My husband's dying. Anyway, we're on the RAGS, and I'm sure you've gathered, but RAGS is an acronym for
Risa,
Amy,
Gloria,
Sloan.
Sloan. I like that.
Sloan.
Very
Sloan.
sexy Sloan.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're 4 women with 4 personalities. Okay, I may have an extra one, but with 4 distinct viewpoints. And what we're going to do is why'd you look at Risa then?
I didn't know.
We're going to come up with some headlines that we found either funny or fun or interesting or something like that. So that's going to be the premise for our podcast instead of the real reason, which is because we're the only people in the whole world that don't have one. So we wanted to have
Not
one.
anymore.
Yeah, no. We're a podcast. So we're on the RAGS, and Risa is going to...
I have a headline.
Yes,
to talk
you
about.
do.
So my headline, which I think has been written about a lot of times in the last week, is about the 4-year-old boy who accidentally bought $2,600 worth of SpongeBob popsicles on Amazon. And these were non-refundable. Now, any of us that have ordered from Amazon...
You can't really return a popsicle.
No. But all of us have spent an enormous amount of money on Amazon, especially during the pandemic, because you buy things, it comes to your house. And if you don't like it, you just return it. Like, you tell them that day and they refund the money. But not this. And this poor boy who's 4 years old, his mother is a 44-year-old single mother of 3, and she's getting her master's degree at NYU. And along with all of her other bills, she did not know how she was going to pay.
I bet.
For the almost $3,000 worth of popsicles.
Yeah.
And then somebody started a GoFundMe page, and she's made, how much money has she made?
Well, I checked yesterday. I think it was over 16,000.
Oh,
and you know what?
I love that.
Isn't that great?
Love it.
And she was so inspired by the generosity of people, which I am too, because she was a woman in need, and she didn't ask for it. It's just kind of a cute story. But even more importantly, how does a 4-year-old know how to order from Amazon?
Oh, I think kids easily know how.
They know
how to do it better than my mom does.
Better than I do,
last
probably.
week she's never ordered anything off of Amazon.
I never did. I never did.
My mother doesn't use a cell phone or
my mother doesn't either.
Or a computer. Think about this. We're not so technologically savvy because when I started my career, there were no computers, no Xerox machines, no cell phones.
There wasn't electricity, I don't think. Was there?
I rode my horse to work every day.
Uphill in the snow.
Uphill both directions in the snow. I just think it's a great story, and I think he's adorable.
He
and
is
now
so
he has,
cute.
Now
Oh my
he has
gosh!
like lots of. I think it's 51 cases of popsicles.
Well, I
even-
felt so bad. The mom said that so many of them melted because they didn't have the freezer space for them.
I don't have the freezer
Of
space.
course, who does? But the picture they use of that little boy is so
cute.
Oh my
cute.
God, can you see him? Can you
He's
see
Just
so
cute.
happy
him? Oh my God.
about that popsicle.
I love
and
it.
his achievement. But you know, the good thing about that story is sometimes you think terrible things have happened. I mean, the panic. I would be so panicked if I was charged $2,000 for popsicles, $3,000, and that's not refundable. But then it turns into something so much better.
Right.
Right.
It's a good
She
story.
ended up better off than before.
It was
so
a good headline.
pretty
Well,
wonderful.
I'll tell you what my husband did. Speaking of not knowing how to order on Amazon, and he's a grown up, but he
Debatable.
one night decided to order some lint rollers,
Mhm.
and because of all of our animals, and he's always trying to get. Well, we all need lint rollers anyway, if we have animals or not. But he wanted to order 10. And so he ordered 10. And I'm in the office one day, and all of a sudden UPS comes with a trolley.
Oh, no.
full of
10
these
boxes.
cases.
Oh, because
in
there was
cases.
10 cases.
multiple ones instead
He
of
ordered 10 cases.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that he didn't order 10 of these. And if he would have paid attention.
So he didn't look at the price.
Yeah,
He didn't
obviously
look at the
not.
price,
Or
'cause
they
one
would
lint roller.
Did you return
the
them?
cost of a box.
No, everybody got them for Christmas for the next 5 years.
That's a good Christmas. Oh, no wonder we got lint rollers.
Did you?
No. No, but I want one.
Yeah, seriously. Now we know where
But
to go.
see, so he did the same thing a 4-year-old would do, or
Yeah,
a 4-year-old did do.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
goes
but
to
a 4-year-old doesn't really even know how to read yet. Often, right?
Yes.
This
Right,
young
right.
boy figured out how to look it up and order them
Yeah.
at 4 years old.
Yeah.
Unless
But they do play games they do start early, and
That's
the parents
games.
give them. But if they can go to Amazon and see pictures of
maybe
popsicles
pictures.
Yeah.
I'm going to give
and
him
hit
credit.
add to bag,
I'm going to
Yeah.
give him credit. He knew how to read at
Yeah.
4.
That's
Okay.
pretty brilliant. It's a good story.
Yeah.
For
Really
his
good
whole life.
story.
Yeah. I have a headline.
Yeah.
do share.
Okay. The headline is why you shouldn't skip your second COVID shot.
Oh.
So I'm sure we've all heard that like
Yeah.
8% or more now,
Yeah.
that was probably a couple days ago, of people aren't showing up for their second vaccine.
Why?
I don't know. They think they're
Because
vaccinated.
they don't want trackers in their body.
Okay, first of all, how lucky would we all be if Bill Gates had a chip in our brain? Don't you want a little chip of Bill Gates in your brain? I do.
You mean to be smarter? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
You'd make better choices. You'd make, I don't know, more money. You'd probably be happier. You'd know more. Don't you think?
No, I don't want a chip of
You don't want
anybody
a
in my
Bill.
brain.
I'd like a little
Not
Bill
Bill
Gates.
Gates.
Not in your brain? Just a
No.
little?
Or anyone.
No.
Or anyone.
I'd take either of you in my brain.
Aw.
And you, Sloan, any of you, ladies.
Oh, thank you,
I
dear.
would like a sliver of you all in my brain.
I'm not sure you mean that. I mean,
Oh, I
I don't know
mean
what
it.
you're asking for.
So, Sloan,
Yes, dear.
what did you enjoy in the headlines this weekend?
Well, my headline, I've got a few, but one that is kind of on my mind today is Tucker Carlson.
Ew.
Why?
He,
I'd be a bit embarrassed to
there
say
was-
that.
Sorry, yeah, exactly.
There was a great op-ed today in the New York Times about Tucker becoming the new Trump.
Yeah, I read that.
He has an unbelievable amount of followers.
Mhm.
He is
How
the
scary
number
is that,
one,
by the way?
Terrifying.
It's scary, terrifying. The number one watch show, way above Rachel Maddow and everybody
Yeah.
else on TV at night. And he is telling parents that if he sees other parents making their kids wear masks, they are morally obligated to call CPS.
I heard that too.
That they are, if you saw, it's as bad as if you saw somebody beating their kid at Walmart.
I thought it was very
Seeing
funny
a
that he used
parent-
Walmart, by the way. Like, why Walmart? Is he
Yeah, why?
implying that only Walmart
Right,
shoppers beat their
right.
kids?
Yeah.
Or only a Walmart. That's right. I mean, it's disgusting on that way.
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
he is making a big case that that these people need to be prosecuted.
That they're
That
abusing
they
their
are-
kids by making them
if
wear a
they're-
mask.
Here's the
That
problem.
they are,
Yeah.
yes.
He's just, people like him and Rush Limbaugh, it's not even real. I mean, I think it's a simple little stupid thought that they have, and then they turn it into this big monologue on a show as if they're serious, which I don't think
Well,
they're.
that's why he's the next Trump.
Well, I know.
He's trying to get ratings. He's then getting on Jimmy Kimmel every night and on Colbert because they're repeating
What
this
he
these crazy things.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's brilliant in that way that people are like, oh my God, I got to go see what Tucker did tonight.
Wasn't it Tucker Carlson who was sued? Somebody sued Fox News, or maybe it was about the elections. I forget what it was for, but they sued Fox News because of something that was said on Tucker Carlson. And the Fox lawyers' defense was nobody could possibly take what Tucker Carlson says as true or
yes.
news.
Right.
It's not real. It's just an opinion show. It's not news. And they won. Yeah.
So anyway, I found that very disturbing. I actually saw that segment where he said you should call the police or 911 immediately if you see a parent having a child wear a mask.
I love those children's masks. I love them.
You love children, everything.
I do.
Anyway,
and I love their masks.
I know.
too.
With or without a mask.
Right.
With or without a mask. A little tiny mask. You like a little shoe.
They're so cute, right?
You like
a little shoe.
outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I like those little things. I love those.
See,
little
I like
ones.
babies. I'm not so in love after age 1.
Oh no, they say the funniest things.
That goes real fast.
No, look at Gloria's grandchildren. Look at the 4-year-old.
No, she said that they're very cute. They are.
They say
They are.
the stuff that comes out of those mouths.
I know.
It's priceless. Look
I
at your
know.
little nephew.
Oh my gosh. The other night at dinner, he said to his mom and dad, my brother and sister-in-law, okay, who wants to talk about the elephant in the room? He's
No.
5.
See what I mean? And
Oh,
what
that's
did he think the
hysterical.
elephant in the room was?
Well,
or had he just heard it?
No,
he heard that
it on his cartoon.
Yeah.
That's
And
very
then my
funny.
brother bursts out laughing and he goes, that's what I thought you'd say.
Very funny.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Oh, see?
I love that.
Seriously.
Oh, that's very
See,
cute.
you couldn't
very
say that
cute.
at 1-year-old.
You can't say
You have to
you-
be, yeah.
You got to be
They're
5.
cute at 1. They are. I have to admit. You're right
They are
about
cute.
that. You are.
I love the
Wait,
I
how
love
old-
the babies.
How old are you? How old is the baby?
Well, I mean they're very, very cute. Ruby's a little 1 plus.
Oh.
And she's adorable. And Max is getting even cuter at 9. He said Courtney told me they were on vacation a couple weeks ago and they were planning all these activities. And finally he said, guys, I need some me time. And
Oh.
left.
Good for him. I'm just
And
learning
went to-
that.
And
I'm
went
way
to
older
his
than
room
9.
And went to the room.
Oh, he's
He couldn't
right.
deal with a
He was right.
That's funny.
right. I thought that was hysterical.
That's so great.
Gloria's granddaughter said that once. They came over to my house, to our house, and we were all doing different things. And we were going to draw with chalk on the driveway. And I said, "Let's call your brother and sisters." And she goes, "No, I need some Risa time."
Oh, that's
Aw.
very cute. That's very cute.
4.
Oh,
Very sweet.
She didn't want them around from that
I
moment.
know.
love that.
Oh no.
But the
She's
things
definitely
that come
gonna
out of their
negotiate
mouths
her
now
whole
are
life.
unbelievable.
yeah.
No, that one is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. You can tell at that age.
Yeah.
By the time they're 5, you know what they're going to be like.
She's
Yes.
got your genetics.
Yeah, totally.
So
Do we
But I
have,
don't think we were like this at 4, and where we said we need me time. Or I mean, I don't remember.
No, we weren't
We
allowed
had
to
that.
think.
no, we didn't have
Uh-uh.
boundaries.
No.
We weren't
No.
given the option to have boundaries.
No,
so much.
definitely never.
You did whatever somebody.
my
told you
parents
to
didn't
were
give
told.
me I had no
Yeah.
rules.
Really?
No rules. That's why I never wanted to break any. There was
Yeah.
none to break.
Yeah.
They never even waited up for me when I went out.
And she was 8.
I had
When
no
she went out clubbing.
I had no curfew, which is something that parents should understand. Don't
Wait,
be
Risa, same. I was the same.
don't be
Yeah.
that tough
But
on your kids.
mine were so involved in their own life. They
Yeah.
didn't-
Oh, mine too. So it's me. Do I have a headline?
Do
Do
you?
you?
I do have a headline. Here's one of my favorite headlines of this week. And I hope I can do this without what I did the other day, but I think I can.
You can.
Vanessa Bryant, to honor her daughter on would have been her 15th birthday, which is May 1st, is launching a clothing line called Mambacita Clothing. That's what they used to call her daughter, Gianna. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they used to call her. And the clothing line, all of the proceeds, 100%, are going to go to underserved youth and giving them opportunities to play sports. And in my opinion, I don't think that there's anything better for young boys and girls than being involved in sports, because I think it keeps them healthy. I think it gives them good self-esteem. I think it keeps them off the streets. I think it gives them something to look forward to and, again, feel good about their self-esteem. And I marvel at that. And because it was one of the more tragic things that it was a hard couple of years for everybody. But that in itself was one of the most tragic things that I think I've heard
In our
about.
lifetimes, yeah.
Okay, downer.
And you did that without crying.
You
I
did
know,
it.
right? I know, it's crazy.
Yay.
It's crazy.
Yay. Good for you. Proud.
Okay,
Golf clap. Golf
Amy, do you have?
I have something fascinating that I found that I read.
Do share.
Did you know? Don't anybody break out into a sweat. I'm married, so don't get too excited. But did you know that platonic best friends are getting married?
For tax purposes?
It's a thing. No.
Are they already
No, it's
married
a
with
thing.
other
It's a
people,
thing.
or they're not
No.
married?
They are not married.
Oh, is it men, women, or men? Oh,
well,
it doesn't
what I
matter.
read is kind of more women focused. I would imagine it's more of a, I don't know. Seems
But
like-
they discussed that they were non-binary or demisexual.
Some are.
They
but
have all different
yes.
taglines.
But yeah, but even if it's a fluid gender or whatever, they're saying it's an asexual, non-romantic
Right.
marriage. So it's
I get that.
Yeah.
I
It's
get
just
it.
It's like
But
it's
they
a
have-
companionship.
They have sex with other people, just not in their marriage.
But are they getting married for tax reasons or
They're getting-
companionship?
No, to have stability, to have a life with their best friend.
Oh, well,
And to have
Companionship.
that partner, that person who's going to make legal decisions for you,
To get old with
to
somebody.
grow old together.
well,
Although I do feel like if you're having romantic relationships outside of that marriage, isn't that just
No,
a
but
potential?
those are not romantic relationships that aren't always stable.
Right, but sometimes they are, and I feel
But
like
sometimes they're not, and they didn't want to take that chance that they could break up, but they'd still have a home base that was stable.
yeah, but marriages break up, right? So if you just because you're married to somebody,
But
if you're-
usually, if you're in a romantic marriages break up. But this, they're saying, since they're best friends. Yeah, are you saying best friends break up? Because
Yes,
this is
they
not,
do.
well, yes, and best friends break up and marriages break up. And so it does, to me, it would seem more stable if you weren't just allowed or okayed to go out and have romantic relationships. It seems like
Well, no, because it's not a love marriage. It's
Yeah.
Well,
but
I
if you
care.
fell
I
in
want
love-
you to be happy. You want me to. Oh, I get it.
I
think it
understand
could
the thing
work.
about having companionship and
Yeah.
being close to somebody, but remember that expression: familiarity breeds contempt. Like if you're that on top of somebody else,
Yeah.
you may have the same issues.
it's probably no different.
Right. Like if you and I were in that relationship and I left the water running while I was trying to brush my teeth.
Well, Fred survived. You'd survive,
See? But you would have those same issues.
Yeah, you have the same.
But you would
regardless.
probably have different bathrooms. You wouldn't
That's
even.
true.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
even
true.
know.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
I wouldn't even.
It would make her.
Me
It would
'cause-
make her want to rush out and have sex with her sexual partner.
I get it. It's an interesting concept.
It's a good concept. I think it's an interesting concept too.
You have a headline there?
Well, I
Missy?
do.
Yeah.
Speaking of rags, this
Uh-huh.
actually comes from the Daily Mail
Oh.
in England, which is one of the biggest
Mhm.
rags. That is. Wish everybody could see this picture because it's kind of pretty bizarre that this is part of a newspaper.
But
But it's a picture of a girl that's
Can't see
sitting.
it.
Looks
I'm
like
glad-
maybe on a couch.
You know what? I'm
or
really glad
or
nobody
on
can see
her
that picture.
bed or
Actually,
something with her knickers around her ankles, and which is kind of a little rude, I think, for a newspaper.
Rude.
But then again, the Sun in England has always had something called Page 3, which is
Okay.
the topless page, and it's so bizarre to be sitting there at your kitchen table reading a newspaper with your little children, and you put the newspaper down and it happens to be on Page 3.
It
and
just
it's
happened. It
boobs.
just happened to be
No.
on page 3.
But
I
it's
don't know
boobs.
how it got turned
But
to
it's
page 3.
topless pictures
Oh,
or
weird.
nude or
it's like taking your kids on a trip and going to the nude beach by accident.
kind of just without the
Okay, what's the story?
okay, well the story is, I'm going to read it to you. How clean is your underwear?
Oh,
Experts reveal why you should replace pants, which means knickers, panties, every year and always go commando at night and at the gym to avoid infections. Well, first of all, when I read this, I read it like 6 times because it says experts reveal why you should replace underpants, every year. I'm thinking, are people wearing their underwear all year?
No, I guess throw
what
out.
What am I doing wrong? Why do I have so much laundry?
Throw out.
I didn't really need to be wearing 2 a day or whatever.
They want you to toss it after a year and start over?
They're not getting clean in the washing machine?
Not clean enough for these tiny little
germs. That's interesting.
Yeah,
people are going shopping tonight.
Victoria's Secret, here we come.
But yeah, they say that. And the same thing with bras too, because they're in close contact with nipples and armpits. That's just not terribly sanitary either, and you should be replacing these often.
What if you don't wear a bra?
What? That's really confusing.
Some people don't wear them.
Well, they should be.
I don't ever wear a bra or underwear.
Ever.
Never.
You don't ever wear underwear?
I just made that up.
Oh. My ex-husband never wore underwear.
Your face.
Do you sleep with a bra on?
No.
But some people do.
Some people do.
You do.
Right here.
Some people do. Supposedly,
every night.
Supposedly is better for your...
You've got a lot going on.
But that's why... Whatever.
Anyway,
this is earth-shattering news here, people. I'm sure everyone is so glad they tuned
By the
in.
way, but they should know about this. I didn't realize you should. I have a drawer full of underwear.
Bleach, people. Bleach.
That's your mother.
Machine.
Your mother bleaches everything.
This says a washing machine won't always clean all of the bacteria, such as E. coli, off of the underwear, adding it is both...
Okay, let's move on.
Moral of the story,
Why?
do not store your panties with your raw chicken. Good
Oh
tip.
my God, now's a fine time to tell me that. Or don't use your raw chicken for underwear, whichever.
Also very true.
You can wash
Also
your
true.
underwear by hand, by the way.
Yeah, but that's not.
Look at Sloan.
Clean.
I'm good
Sloan
at
has the same face she has when she plays Cards Against Humanity with us.
Yes, she does.
Yep, she does. She's like,
oh my God.
she's thinking to herself, really? Do I know these people?
She's done.
Oh,
she's
my
just
God.
over.
All right, Sloan.
Okay, go on.
You
then.
must
We'll
have a
go
good
get off my.
You
we'll
must
get
have
off
a
my
more
topic.
grown-up headline going back to who's more
Okay,
mature.
I don't know if it's more grown up, but as Risa said, I may turn off the other half of the country. But
well.
Oh no, you already did.
Oh, we're done. We've done
I already
that.
did?
If we,
Well, I mean, you can't be everything to everyone.
You
No,
cannot.
you
have to
cannot.
be who you
You
are.
just said
You
it in the
have to be
beginning.
who you are.
We're 4 different people with 4 different
Yes.
viewpoints.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, Rudy Giuliani has been in the headlines all week.
Yes.
And
There's some E. coli
there
for
was
ya.
one in Politico today about how Giuliani's legal trouble is Trump's too.
Ew.
And
Yeah.
Preet Bharara has also a great podcast that I highly recommend, that I love. And he was talking about that there is that nobody would have raided his home, his apartment, without incredible
Probable
evidence.
cause, like massive probable cause.
that
Oh, yes,
yes,
of course.
that there's no way Merrick Garland and any of the Justice Department or the judge that signed this would have allowed this raid to go on if they don't know exactly what they're looking for.
I know.
And by the way, it's even if he had tried to delete it, it's all in the cloud. But he said it's a strong chance, very likely chance, that the New York City former mayor will be indicted, and that Trump world must be soiling their pants.
Going back
Terrified.
to underwear.
Going back to
See?
Trump world.
Okay, that's
Is
why I brought
soaking
that
their
line in.
pants
That was the
in
quote
chicken juice.
unquote, that it must be they must be, I won't say the word, but they must be really having a very bad day.
But do you think that Biden really didn't know it was happening? He says he didn't.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Well, if you believe him, that he said that the Justice Department is going to be they're not my lawyers, it's the United States lawyers. Yeah. And if he seems like he's got plenty on his plate, he's not drunk.
I kind of believe it.
I kind of do too. He's gotten 200 million people vaccinated in 100 days and done a lot of other things. And he seems like a pretty busy guy for a 78-year-old.
So our very first guest on our podcast on the RAGS is Michael Horkachuck. Now, to some people, to Aaron and Doug, he's a great father. To Charlie and Bogey, he's a great grandfather. To me, he's a great boyfriend. But to NASA, he's I don't want to blow this. You're the resident
office manager at SpaceX.
At SpaceX. For NASA. And he, speaking of headlines, had a huge week. So tell us what happened last week and then this morning.
Last week, we launched what's called Crew 2, the second operational mission of the SpaceX Dragon capsule to the space station. Took 4 new crew members up to the space station for their 6-month tour. And then last night, we brought Crew 1, which launched about 5-6 months ago, back down to Earth, and they splashed down in the Gulf successfully, and all the crew are back in Houston now, recovering.
Incredible.
I asked him a question. So the crew that came back today went up 6 months ago? It was that long ago?
A little
I know,
less,
is that crazy?
Yeah.
It feels like it was just yesterday.
Yeah.
So they went up. But that capsule that took them there had to stay there because that capsule had to bring them back. Why?
Well, because the seats are custom designed or custom built to each crew member, and you need a lifeboat on the space station in case anything goes wrong. You want your lifeboat right there so they can get into it and get off the space station. So
what's a lifeboat?
Well, the capsule.
The capsule.
That's it. That was the lifeboat.
Oh, okay.
But isn't that interesting? The seats are custom made to them.
And then I said, really nice
Are they Tesla seats?
No, they're better.
They're better.
Better than a Tesla.
But then that's what I said. I was like, but don't they reuse these capsules?
They do reuse the capsules.
They just change the seats.
They change out the seats.
They change the seats and a few other things. But yeah.
And here's the thing that worried me the most, because I'm superficial, but because there was only sleeping quarters for 6 people in the International Space Station. And then prior to these 4 going up last week, there was 7 people there. And I was like, where's that one?
Well, one's on call, right? One's on call all the time.
No, they all try to sleep together, but he was sleeping inside the Dragon capsule.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next 4 that went up last week, where'd they sleep?
That's 5 extra people, right?
4 extra, but yeah.
5 extra with the number of beds.
Yeah, 5 extra if it only sleeps 6,
right?
Oh,
true.
So
yeah, I think they were sleeping in the aisleways.
Does it really matter? I mean, do you just kind of
floating? Aren't you floating?
You're floating anyway, so
yeah, you get into a sleeping bag and kind of Velcro yourself to a wall.
Velcro yourself to a wall. I love it.
Ceiling, whatever you want.
Whatever.
You know, it's interesting because and they did it. They were doing this at interesting hours because Michael was going to work at like 10 p.m. and coming home at 4 a.m. because.
Wink, wink.
No, that's true.
I know.
No, really.
That really is true.
Good story, Michael. Nice shirt. You really went the extra mile.
I could have brought the hat too. Huh?
Yeah.
And, you know, he worked during this whole pandemic. I think we just talked about this. During the whole pandemic, when everybody else was locked down, not SpaceX, not NASA, they launched 2 astronauts on a test mission, brought those 2 home, sent 4 more. Those 4 are now coming home.
Just came home.
But that's during the pandemic.
Well, there's no pandemic on the moon. I mean,
but there was here. Like, he was going to work.
Yeah, I was going out to the desert to do some parachute tests with SpaceX because we had to make sure the parachute system worked correctly before we launch astronauts on it.
So that when the capsule
I'm sure
comes
you
back...
still...
For the landing.
You still followed COVID rules, though, right? I mean, everybody wore a mask that was close together.
Yeah, and we were outside.
Right, and you're outside and in the desert.
But when you're on console, are you far apart from each other?
Yeah, 6 feet apart.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're wearing masks on console.
Yeah.
So can I ask you a question that I'm sure everybody wants to ask?
Everybody in kindergarten asks the question that you're going to ask.
Of course.
Because I'm the mature one.
Because he's talked to
mature.
elementary school classes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Where does everybody go potty?
Exactly what they ask. That's what they ask. I'm telling you.
Where and how?
Yeah.
Details, dirty details, please.
They go in the potty.
Is there a potty?
There is.
Is it a vacuum?
It's a vacuum cleaner like situation.
What?
You need airflow to pull the stuff into the
Ew.
into the filter banks.
Is it in bags?
Oh, so it doesn't come up.
Yeah, there's bags.
And what do they do when they come back with those bags?
They collect them up, put them into canisters, and they burn up with some of the cargo vehicles.
Yes.
We just want to... Do you have any questions for Michael? Because I'm sure that
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What exactly was the mission? What were they doing up there for that long?
Oh, this crew specifically did a number of EVAs, extravehicular activity. They got in the spacesuits and went on the outside of the space station and prepared the space station for some new solar arrays that are coming up on the next cargo vehicle.
What is that? Solar rays?
Solar arrays, like the solar panels that you can put on the roof of your house.
Oh.
We have some higher tech ones that go on the space station to generate the power for the space station. Because the space station,
there's no electricity.
It's a big vehicle. You need electricity to run everything.
Yeah.
It's all solar. It's all solar.
Solar? You get the sun when you're on the moon?
No, this
not
is
the moon.
Circling the Earth every 90 minutes. So
right.
Every 45 minutes you're in sun, and then 45 minutes you're in darkness.
And you get
then you're in sun again. So there's some big batteries as well, and we've upgraded the batteries over the years.
What time is it on the International Space Station?
I think it's generally Greenwich Mean Time.
Which means what time? If we're at...
So it's 7 hours later than here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that same as England? No.
It's an hour earlier than England.
Right.
But time doesn't really matter, does it? Or, I mean...
They have to go to sleep at an... Well,
we needed to pick something in between because we have the Russians as partners, the Europeans as partners, the Japanese as partners. There's no one good time.
But it's always dark.
That's the thing that's so interesting.
No, every 45 minutes.
Oh, so they see light every 45 minutes.
Yeah, it goes around the Earth at 17,500 miles an hour. So it's going all the way around the Earth.
Really fast.
Every 90 minutes.
Are they dizzy? Do they get dizzy?
I'd throw up. I think I would throw up.
I'm nauseous just thinking about it.
Feel it. Can they feel it? Can they feel anything aside from no gravity? Does it feel?
No.
You're not, at that point, you're not accelerating more. You're still going with the forward momentum and kind of falling against the curvature of the Earth.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
At the same speed.
There's a reason.
So you don't really feel anything other than like you're weightless. Like if you were in an airplane that was in a dive.
It would?
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Floating
just
around.
Just weightless.
Well, wait,
just
Amy,
being able to say weightless.
Yes, exactly.
You sent Michael something. Was there really an asteroid or something that flew right by?
Yes.
Yes. As they were
they called it space junk.
What was it?
Yeah, they thought it was a satellite. We thought it was
that was careening towards them, but there wasn't enough time to get out of the way or something. So everyone was panicked for a minute.
But
and then
it missed it.
Yeah, you don't want to do a burn
further.
and find out that you burned and changed your trajectory to be right in the path of where the object was.
I'd hate that.
I would hate that.
And it takes a little while to upload a planned burn. So they just put their spacesuits on and waited it out. I have to go double check. At one point I heard it was a deorbiting Russian highly elliptical satellite that didn't deorbit right, and then I heard it was nothing, and the topos overreacted. But
Wow.
we'll see.
How much space junk is there? Is there a lot of debris out there? Just like
There's a lot
litter.
of satellites out there.
There are?
For sure. Oh,
like old ones that are not in use anymore at all, and it
ones that
becomes
are
actual
in use at all different orbits, all different heights. So you used to be able to download a satellite layer on Google Earth, and it looks like fireflies across the whole
Oh wow.
whole Earth. There's so
Why
many of them.
used to? You can't do that anymore? They pulled it?
I haven't tried in a while. Yeah, I think it's a little bit harder to find it. But there's a lot of them, and if they hit each other, then they cause a lot of debris.
Of course.
There's a lot of old spent rocket stages that haven't quite deorbited yet.
It's probably
Wow.
time for a cleanup job, huh? Like
How
a
do you
big
do
net
that? How
to
do you-
go out there and
Like in a swimming pool, you can go with a net and just get them.
Yeah, maybe not that easy.
See how great it is to
But
live
it
with
is.
me.
Is it maybe a little bit of a situation where we've created all this stuff and put it out there and all of these satellites, but there's no real plan on how to get them back or
They're
clean it
working
up?
on plans to figure out how to deorbit some of those, and
Wow.
they're also working on plans to refuel some of them that are up there so they can extend their useful life, and you don't have to send up a new one.
Yeah.
Um,
When
and-
you say they,
Well-
NASA or Elon?
NASA and the overall federal government, because the DoD launches a lot of
I bet.
satellites and vehicles, and then
I bet
all the other
too.
countries
Yeah.
as
Sure.
well.
Of
So
course.
they have to make sure all the other countries play well together too.
Yeah.
But they do, don't they?
What?
For
Play well
this,
together. In space?
In space? The space people?
The Russians?
The Martians?
I would never. I said,
On the space station, you're talking
Yes.
about the people on the space
They
station?
work well together.
They work well together.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
They're scientists.
Yeah. Are you talking about the Chinese blowing up satellites with anti-satellite?
Okay, we're not going to get
Missiles.
into that right now.
Yeah, they do that, and that's not really playing well together.
Okay.
And that causes a lot of debris. There was
Sure,
a
of
big
course.
situation there for a while when the Chinese did that one.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. Is that
Okay.
before or after they created a virus? I'm just teasing.
Okay. Well,
Just
you know,
teasing.
it was really great having our first guest, wasn't it? So, honestly, we probably have run out of time. But I think that if people have questions of us, of Michael, you should write them to us,
Sure.
Yeah.
right?
On our Twitter or Instagram.
Michael
Uh-huh.
needs to come back. He needs to be a recurring.
Yeah,
yes.
well, he'll probably have more things that are in the headlines.
Yes, yes.
But do you have a question, Sloan, before, since we all
Yes,
got to ask
I
one?
do. I wonder, Michael, and do the astronauts still panic when they go up, or does anybody in NASA or SpaceX ever, is it always nerve-wracking until they're back on the planet Earth? Or is it everyone feel 100% like nothing's going to go wrong? And
Well,
I
we
mean,
try to
it's a
achieve
long
that.
time since
Yeah.
we've lost a group of astronauts, but
Knock on wood.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
Yes.
face it, traveling into space is
Pretty
risky
scary.
business, right?
Yeah.
yes,
It's not
right.
like driving your car and you get a flat tire and you can pull over to the side of
No.
the road. You get a problem going uphill, it's a big deal. The good thing about this capsule design is it's got an abort system on the capsule. So if something went wrong with the rocket, it would eject off the top of the rocket and fly the astronauts away safely
wow.
That
and let them
sounds
parachute to the ground.
terrifying.
What about when you're
It would
docked
be an
for 6
e-ticket
months?
ride, that's for sure.
What about
But
what?
we
Sloan?
actually tested
I mean,
that. We tested
Michael,
that
yeah.
before we launched the first 2 astronauts. We actually blew up a rocket in the process.
Where
to-
did the
to prove-
astronauts land? How far
was
away
a-
does it fly them?
Well, it depends on where
Where
in
it
the flight
explodes or where it
Wow.
ejects.
ejects? Yeah.
Right.
Oh my.
do people get sick in space?
Yes.
I mean, so if you got the flu or
You'd have to get it
stomach
from-
issue, I mean, Is there somebody, is there a medic there, or is one of them got an MD, or do they have supplies? Or, I mean, what if someone got cancer on the
Well, how are they going to know they
station.
have cancer? They don't have CAT
I don't
scans
know.
up
They
there.
got very sick. I'm just saying, if you get, more than just
There have been MDs that have flown. I'm not sure that any one of this last crew was an MD, and they have plenty of medicines, but then we have a bunch of flight doctors on the ground that are always doing calls with the astronauts on board, private calls.
how about mental health checks?
I'm sure they're
Do
doing
they ever?
all those as well.
I bet.
Yeah. You'd think if it's a sickness, a virus, they would all, it's one or all, right?
Well, ever since that mission to the moon, where was it Lovell got a cold or the flu on the way to the moon,
everybody.
And they were all sick going to the moon. We've put the astronauts in kind of a quarantine about 2 to 3 weeks before the mission.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been keeping them isolated and having just a limited number of people that are in isolation themselves be in close contact to them.
Mm-hmm.
So even before COVID, we were doing those kind of precautions.
But most importantly, the first batch that went up, do you know what song the astronauts woke up to?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Those first two. And they get to, right?
They
One
get
of
to
Terry's
pick
songs, right?
They get to pick what song they want to be woken up to the next morning, because it was a special mission. That was the first one in 10 years. And the astronaut chose, go ahead.
Black Sabbath's Planet Caravan.
There you go.
That's cute.
That's what they
Bit of
chose.
trivia.
That's a big deal.
It was a
so
great
cool.
wake-up song, too, I think. Wake-up
Bit of
songs have
trivia.
been a tradition for astronauts for years.
Isn't it? It's so interesting that it was yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, meant to be.
So we have a section called Raggery, which is where we each have our own thing to moan about.
Complaint.
To rag.
It's a
Yeah,
complaint,
kinda
but we're gonna
raggy.
limit it. We're not gonna go on. We're not gonna
It's a
drag you
short thing.
down.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
short,
just a real quick, whatever
yeah,
our
get it out.
kind of pet
Raggery.
peeve
Get
sort
it
of
out.
thing is.
Yeah, your pet peeve for the day
Yeah.
Or the minute or the hour.
or the week.
Or Risa's is forever.
No, I'm
'Cause I
not
know
going
what
to do
hers
that.
is.
I don't think I'm going to do it. It's insulting.
About traffic?
Oh no, that one I have.
Yeah, I know. I'll help you.
You don't want to be insulting?
Not that other one that we talked about.
Okay.
Not for this.
But I
We'll
will
save
mention-
that one. Yeah.
Hey, go ahead. I can mention it
you
in
go.
another section. Okay, so my raggery is it
You're welcome.
disturbs me that people, let's call them drivers for now, because it could be people in other areas, are unaware that there's other people around. They're unaware that there's other people on the road.
Oh yes.
They just meander
Welcome
over
to
in
Los
front of-
Angeles.
yeah. They meander over in front of your lane. They don't look. They don't put on an indicator. They just go. Or they just drive really slowly in the middle of the highway or the road, looking for something, not realizing that there's cars behind
Yes.
them. Or we
They
just
just
did that
don't care.
today.
Yeah.
There was somebody, a big truck was sitting in a parking space, and I was just driving down the road, and it pulled out of the parking space just to be in front of me. Didn't look. There was nobody behind me. He could have waited for me to go.
3 seconds.
I just don't understand people that just aren't aware that there's other people in the
Yeah.
world besides them.
Well,
Hello.
but how fun is it when you're on the phone,
Phone with Risa. Oh, we live it with her. We live it with her.
Because it's always.
She comes up with words I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
I say this
Swear
though.
words.
I say this. I don't know if it's really true because I know it's not. But if you're moving to California and you take the driver's test, and one of the questions is, "Are you a horrible driver?" And if you answer yes, they give you a driver's license.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
true.
That's
true.
the secret question. You have to answer yes and
Yeah.
just.
Oh yeah, if you
Yeah,
say
none of the other
no, I'm not a
questions
bad
matter.
driver. They don't let you come here.
That's right.
Or if you know what an indicator is, they
Oh,
definitely
sorry.
don't let
No,
you
no,
drive.
no.
What
Wait,
do you
what
call
is
it?
that?
What do you call it? Blinker.
No, indicator.
I call
Well,
it an indicator, but is that what you call it?
Turn signal.
Oh, turn signal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine.
That was very
I think
British.
indicators, yeah.
That was maybe a little East Coast.
Oh.
I think we just say turn signal. Blinker.
Here we
Well, we
say
don't
turn
say
signal.
I don't
anything.
know.
How do you say it in
Yeah,
English?
we don't use it.
What
I don't
was
know
that?
what that is.
How do you say it in English? Just kidding. Just kidding about that. Okay. What's your pet peeve?
Amy.
Oh, my pet peeve.
Oh,
Let
I
me
love this
see.
one. Do that one.
If you're going to take a shower, Fred Corey. If you're going to take a shower and the water needs to get warm, how long do you think that takes?
I don't
Well,
know.
now mine takes like 3 seconds now.
I don't know. Did I say 10 minutes?
You did say.
Well, maybe
Fred
2
agrees
minutes.
with you.
No, 2 minutes.
Okay, 30 seconds to a
I
minute
said
or
3
two.
seconds, honestly.
3 seconds, right? That's 3 seconds, 10 seconds tops.
All right, fine.
Some people in my household.
There's only one other person besides you.
I don't think it's the dogs.
I think that totally gave it away. Sorry, rewind. Some people in my household thinks it takes, I don't know, 10, 15. Maybe you can get a shave in there. Maybe you need to record a little thing you just thought of while
And
the
keep
water
the water
gets warm.
running.
Yes, yes. I could rage about it.
Well, we
But I
do have to be careful
out.
about the water in this world.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
It's like an umbrella thing about conservation, awareness, reserving resources for
and
others
saving
that
enough
don't
hot
have
water
them.
for you.
You don't even need to keep the water running while you brush your teeth.
Correct.
Get your toothbrush wet, turn it
Right,
off, brush your
right.
teeth.
It's habits. It's an awareness in habits.
Well, that might be a little too
Men
much.
don't think like that.
I know.
Men don't think like that.
I know. I got it out. I'm sure I'll complain about it again
Good.
tomorrow.
Next week. Yeah, next week.
Oh, tomorrow.
Oh,
but
okay.
whatever. Fine.
Okay.
Got it out for now.
Okay.
G.
Well, I don't really know how much of a pet peeve this is, but it does bother me.
Okay.
So I ragged on somebody yesterday for it. And the older the person is, the more this happens. I don't mean the recipient, the emoji maker.
Oh.
When
Oh.
people send emojis that not everybody understands.
Oh.
And again, the older you are, you just think it's fun to send emojis.
The older you
Yeah.
are.
You just kind of, kids know better. Like kids know to just send one emoji for this sentence. But the older you are, you kind of send 12. And then I'm looking at them, not even caring anymore what the topic, what we were texting about. Now I need to know what this green stuff coming out of somebody's mouth means, or if there's...
It means gross.
Well, no, I get that. I think it's
Oh.
puke.
Yeah, it's barf.
Yeah, I had to learn this. Or like if you see it upside down, face with a smile upside down, why would somebody send that to me?
Well, you know something? I did learn something the other day that you can tell a person's age by the emojis that they send.
that's-
Like supposedly only us older people send red hearts. Like if you're younger,
Is that true, Cole?
Red heart is like the
Love.
most serious.
That is
I don't know.
romantic love.
what's a blue heart? What's a blue heart?
I
mean?
remember
Any
our-
other color I do interchangeably.
Okay.
Oh,
But
okay.
I remember us talking about that blue heart.
Oh, remember that?
I
Remember
do. I do.
Okay, we'll get it.
But another episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that really irritates me because I can't decide if I want to answer the text. Just ignore it now because there's 42 emojis I've got to figure out or what.
I like
So-
to send a string of emojis only if I know Risa's in the car.
Well, it didn't work today. It didn't
Again,
work.
It never works when I do it.
It didn't work because Sloan, you might
like
know this.
pile of poo, laughing emoji, laughing so hard the head explodes emoji, dancing girl,
My
dancing
car,
girl.
because of Siri, and I can listen to my text while I'm driving, right? You know this on your phone. And so it will tell me the text. So all I have to do is like press it so I can hear what the text says rather than looking at my phone. And if you send
It goes ha 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 pile of poo. Whatever it
upside
says.
down smile face,
Yeah.
person smile face vomiting. She tells you exactly what the picture looks like, and sometimes maybe that's easier for you.
It must be. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
because
to
then
try
you can
that.
hear it.
Because I can't.
Yeah.
It'll tell you. It'll give you an emotional rundown.
And Sloan, do you have a pet?
Okay,
peeve,
so
a
can our
raggery?
raggeries, should they be more about a personal nature of something that happened to us, or should it be something in the news that's
Anything
Well, if it's
ragging
that-
us?
bothering you and it's
anything
in the
that drove
news.
you crazy.
It's really
Okay,
personal.
I'll tell you
probably.
what's driving me crazy.
What?
Tucker
We
Carlson.
No, that is definitely,
I don't
his
like to give him
deranged
space.
rant definitely made me sick. But it also this Matt Gaetz, who is a sex trafficking
Oh yeah.
Hypocrite.
sleazeball creep who's on the Judiciary Committee in the House is going on a road show with Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's going to be indicted.
Good.
He is going to be.
Absolutely. I think for sure.
For the underage.
Oh, they've got so much dirt on him from this Joel Greenberg.
Yeah,
So
I know.
anyway, that is
How great is that? 4 copies of like a confession letter and a handwritten letter.
yes.
So many versions.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just
Okay.
the
That's
hypocrisy drives me
raggery.
bananas.
Yeah.
Somebody who's
that
so
how
holier
can
than thou.
how can 75 or 70 million people in this country be on board with this?
Huh.
Yeah.
I
These
hate when
are
that
two of
happens.
Trump.
There's a lot of
people.
There's a lot of this
These
country
conspiracy theorists
Yeah.
that are being
that we'd like to.
anyway. That's very annoying to me.
Yeah. Feel you. I smell what you're stepping in. What's happening?
Do we want to talk about the Gold Star
Yeah.
moment?
We do. I didn't have one good thing happen to me this week, so I'll pass.
Oh.
But Sloan has something that she wants to
A gold
say.
Do
star.
you have
A
a gold
gold
star
star.
moment you'd like to share,
Well, how
Sloan?
did you know that, Risa?
We're gonna
Because you
share some
talked about
joy.
it. We talked about it on the phone.
Oh, yes, we did.
Well, the Zoom or whatever we did.
Yes. Well, I want to do a shout out and a great big thank you to Cher for coming out with this documentary on Cher and the Loneliest Elephant about her work on saving this elephant, Kavan. I think she's an amazing woman and doing great things. And I
She's an
love to
amazing
see
woman.
people using their voice for the voiceless. It kind of counters all the other bad people on the planet.
She does have a foundation that is working to save other animals. Those that are. She's been trying to save Billy. I think he's in the LA Zoo.
He is.
She's trying to get him out too.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's something that we ought to, I didn't know about that. I would certainly help work on those issues. And Gloria and Amy, I'm sure would too.
Okay.
Especially the
Not
foundation.
that I'm
so we should-
pushing. Yes, but still, I mean, if there's protesting or things we can Instagram or mention, I mean, the more we bring light on these issues, the better.
Absolutely.
Agree.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, yes, I agree, Sloan. Big gold star there.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Do you have a gold star, Amy? A gold star moment?
Well, mine's a much smaller level, but this little kitty that visits me every day.
Oh yeah, I love that kitty.
She disappeared for a long time and she's back
Oh, yay.
every day.
Rose, yay!
Yeah. So
Oh,
That's
you feed her?
huge.
Yeah.
Have you fed
What
her?
color?
Oh, I feed her.
What
constantly.
color?
Black.
A black
What color?
cat. A black
Gorgeous.
cat.
You don't
With
want
these-
to rescue? You don't want to bring her in?
Well, she is somebody's cat, so she was visiting me every
Oh.
single
We have
day.
one of those.
I scanned her. She's
Oh.
the neighbor's who wasn't supposed to be letting her out, but I guess he was letting her out all the time. And then she disappeared for a long time, and then now I think he's letting her out again.
She must know that she gets better food at your
She
house
does.
than his.
She does. She comes over, lets me love on her. I feed her
Aw.
every
No, you know
day.
what? One of
2
my-
times
So
a day.
pretty.
One of my
Love her
favorite
so much.
stories is about Amy feeding the squirrel when she used to live in the old house. She had a squirrel.
And Fred.
Yeah, Amy and Fred.
Oh, I
they
thought
used
you
to
meant
have-
I feed Fred.
Oh. They used to have a
That
squirrel,
too.
but do you know this story? They used to have a squirrel that would come and sometimes come to her window and look in
Yeah.
to see if she was going to come out and bring him or her
Yeah.
food. And then she learned that they like walnuts, which she taught me, so I leave them out. And then one time, I'm telling your story, even
Go
though it was
ahead.
your story. So she decided to feed the squirrel almonds, and the squirrel threw it back
Threw
at
it.
her because he didn't like it.
Took a couple bites and went, ah. It's like, okay, geez, I'll go get the higher premium, much more expensive
He was
walnuts for
really
you.
picky about what she could feed.
He really
him.
liked
So funny.
Costco walnuts.
Is that right?
That was
Amy,
his
how
jam.
could you? How could
I
you
know.
have
I
done
know.
that?
I was trying to like chintz out.
I have
Oh my God.
I have 2 big black crows at my house that are always there. They sit in the trees or they fly over. And do we know why they're there? I mean, I love them, and I'm so happy when they're around. And
Maybe
when
they're
it's-
coming for your oranges or whatever
think
the
they might
things
be
you grow.
Well, wait a minute, Risa. I have the same one on my patio all morning today.
I have 2.
Huge,
I have 2.
giant.
Huge. And
I mean, it looks prehistoric. It's so big.
I wonder, because I do have some other animals that are, burrowing into the ground, and maybe they know that and they're looking for them. Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, not on our terrace way up. I mean, we're in a high rise building.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I don't know.
On your porch? On your balcony?
On my balcony all morning. Kept leaving, coming back, taunting the dogs. This went on.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's
3 or 4
That was
hours.
exactly their motive.
Is there something spiritual about black crows or
I don't
ravens?
know. I was wondering the same thing.
I was kind of scared by it on my runs in the last few days. I've been seeing them almost guiding my path.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit freaked out. Like maybe.
Well, also,
I always have. They're always at my
about,
house. I don't know. They're always with me. When I swim, they're always flying around, and I always talk to them.
I mean, they can represent something, I guess, but they also just exist and fly around, so you're bound to see them.
Let's see.
If a blackbird comes in your house, that's really bad luck.
Okay, wait. Here, let me read you the meaning.
Okay, go ahead.
Many consider seeing a black crow in a dream as a bad omen. While it may be true that they represent foreshadowing of sadness or grief, it is not the only black crow meaning.
What?
They also attribute much deeper meaning to a crow's appearance in our dreams, since crows can fly between the land of the living and the dead. And I was just talking about my father when this showed up. So that I thought was
I wonder.
weird.
I wonder. So it could be
That was
somebody
really strange.
Could be somebody that's
I was totally thinking about and talking to my grandmother when I saw those crows.
Oh,
That's
see?
interesting.
Spooky.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have a gold star moment, Gloria?
No.
Nothing? You
Nothing.
You haven't thought of one
No.
since?
I just haven't thought, period. Period being the operative word today.
It sort of brings me to this book that I read. Not actually, I ran into this. I saw this book the other day, but I had listened to this Admiral William McRaven. He's a retired U.S. Navy admiral.
Yeah, I love him.
And he spoke at a commencement speech and started talking about, how to make your life better. And then I found this book the other day, Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life and Maybe the World. And his thing was get up in the morning and make your bed. And it's how you start your day. That's how you should start your day. You've just straightened up one part of your life. So just keep going. And he is.
So is this a raggery or a golden star?
I think it's a golden star.
Well,
it started because it started, and I don't really want to say this, but it started because
so good, such a good story.
It's okay. It's for the world.
Somebody in my home only made half of the bed one morning, and not the other half, like not my half, and I thought that isn't very nice. Like really, and then it led me to remember about this man and that brilliant commencement speech that he gave. I think it was the University of Texas. I think it was. Yeah, the University of Texas at Austin. And he was talking about his Navy SEAL training and about how to start your day.
The moral of this story is make the whole bed. If
you only have the energy to make half of it,
don't do it.
Make the partner's half.
Yeah,
or don't do any of it. Don't do any of it.
Don't do any of it.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Or do it together. Do it together.
That's good too.
A fun thing.
That's a really fun thing.
You're really good at this.
Come on in, honey. Help me make the bed. Or do your half of the work.
Well, he does things that I don't do. He does some things that I don't.
Yeah.
And he doesn't ask for my help. But
there is a book that I read. This can be a gold star. I listened to it from James Clear called Atomic Habits. Mm-hmm. And it's about these little tiny little habits. Like if you were to improve your life or your habits by a teeny % every single day, that time's going to go by anyway. And so after a week, a month, 6 months, a year, you're suddenly, huzzah, I'm a better person because you've made all these tiny little things.
I'm going to do that.
Do it.
I
challenge you all.
Let's all try this starting tomorrow.
Just
Amy,
do tiny little things every day.
It's called Atomic Habits. James Clear. I think that's his name.
So that's a gold star?
That's a gold star.
So no raggeries?
No, I have a raggery.
Okay,
it's not your turn yet.
Well,
she could do it. She could be out of it. No,
my raggery was maybe Matt Gaetz and Giuliani, and we've covered that. So
okay. Well, I have another raggery. Did anybody watch the Biden 100 Days speech the other night?
I did.
Most of it.
Did anybody see Ted Cruz snoring during the?
Yes. Yes.
I found that disgusting.
They didn't just show it that night. They showed it in the newspaper the next day.
Oh,
I'm sure he did it on purpose, right?
No,
I mean,
he fell asleep.
Yeah, I know, but on purpose. Like,
yeah, very
I don't care.
disrespectful.
Like I'm sleeping because I don't care.
Yeah, right. And I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah.
Because this president has been very successful, I would say, in his first 100 days.
Yeah, I agree. He's not divisive enough for some.
Right. Anyway, that was my raggery.
Should we?
Yes.
Should we? Okay.
Yes.
Should we say goodbye for now? For now.
For now.
We will sign off.
Okay.
Later, alligators.
Bye,
Cheerio.
Sloan.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.